Hi, and welcome back to Thone's 1 Peter Nibbles number 105, Serving for God's Glory, Part 2 of 7. And now we're going to talk about that big four-letter word, love. Again, this all comes from 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. Forgiveness out of love. And that's the sort of the subtitle. Why is this in the Bible? We're to be showing the love of God through our love of others, until we convince the people to talk to God, which is just before the salvation experience, we hope. We have to represent God and show His love for the other person through us. And so, with that in mind, it's even more important for the way we act, the way we speak, and our attitudes. And the communication here is to forgive quickly and completely in love. And that's, the way God is for us. So why wouldn't we, as His representatives, be the same? The application to me, when we look at verse 8, we quickly identify one of the most important and most frequently addressed concepts of key Christian characteristics. That is, love. Peter points out that the love shown by a Christian is the single most important sign of the authenticity of the Lord. Love for one another and how it is observed by others is us shining, figuratively, in our witness. Just as the actual shining of the glory of the Lord. An important thought here is that we should not dwell on the past sins of someone. And that's a real slippery slope that we go down if we try to do that. So we are just to basically allow that to be within the conscience of the person and the knowledge of God. We are to rather emphasize with our love by forgiveness of past sins and actions. And, it's easy for us to forgive the past sins of a stranger. It's not so easy for us to forgive the past sins of a close friend or a family member. And that may be one of the reasons why it's so difficult to witness to family and close friends. Whereas with a stranger, it's more comfortable because it's easy for us to forgive sins that we did not take the brunt of as compared to some other, perhaps more, if there is such a thing, serious sins that they have committed, but we were not the targets of them. We are to emphasize our love by forgiveness of sins and actions and our love for the sinner, just as the Lord does. And that's what we remember. We are representatives of the Lord when we are witnessing. So we have to have some semblance of the same, on our imperfect human level, attitudes as the Lord has towards His people. God leads us with a simple statement: love one another. If we love one another, then the rest comes easy. If we do not love particulars, then it becomes very difficult to witness to those who we do not love. Because it's difficult. Witnessing is difficult. So, and my response is, Lord, thank you for teaching us that love covers a multitude of sins. Because that is exactly true, and that's exactly why we are here talking about witnessing today, is that our sins have been covered already by the Lord. And now it's our job to help someone else who is also covered with sins to see that the only way those sins are truly ever forgiven is through love, either by another human being, in the case of us doing the witnessing, or by the Lord with His ultimate authority. We'll talk to you next time.